I really want to talk about feminism right now.
Oh yeah,
Me too. Let's me too. All right, you guys ready for this one?
Sure.
Get woke, go broke. IMDb tweets, ahem. Say it louder for the people in the back.
I hate
SheHulk, Tatiana Maslany. You guys ready for this clip from it's from TikTok, but it's SheHulk? Listen to this.
Here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. But when I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or I might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
I love this clip for this face right here.
I
from the
love
Hulk.
that feminist, male feminist face.
The Thor
He's like,
Hulk's the new male feminist.
All right. Spoiler alerts. I don't know how many of you wanted to watch She-Hulk, but I do. I love watching the Marvel stuff, even though when it I didn't watch. I did watch a bit of Miss Marvel, and it was awful. It was just so awful. So, but we'll get to that in a second. So this clip's great. It's really, really great, because as much as people are like mocking the clip, it is masterfully done. It is a work of art. It is so perfect that I was excited to see it. And the reason is, minutes before this scene, she is outside of a bar. We watched it before the show so I could explain it to you guys. And 3 guys are not even hollering, not even catcalling. Like, I was asking Shane, like, is this so the guys come out and they're like, hey, what's your name? And she goes, I'm waiting for someone. And it's like, well, let us keep you company. She goes, my boyfriend's going to be here. And he's like, oh, come on, we're just being friendly. She goes, hulks out, and then gets ready to murder the dudes. She like winds up, and then Hulk stops her from doing it. And so I was asking Shane, I was like, was that even hollering? Like, catcalling is when you're like saying crude things.
Below that.
It's below that.
It was working up to a pickup line, but not there yet.
It wasn't even hollering.
Yeah.
Hollering being like, sup, girl, why don't you come over here? They were just like, what's your name? Like, let us keep you company. And I'm like, it's almost hollering.
So this is a parable about why women shouldn't have power.
Yeah, basically.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But this is why I think... No, look.
Clip that.
The clip is perfect.
There we go. We got it.
The clip is perfect. Okay. She almost murdered these dudes. She winds up for like a kick. And we know from the show, because they show her throwing boulders and smashing a cliff with her fists, that a full force kick would have exploded these men. Here's what else we learn. In the show, when she hulks out with Bruce, he tries to calm her down. And he's like, calm. And she goes, why are you talking to me like a child? And he goes, wait a minute. You're in there? And she goes, yes.
Conscious.
And you learn that when Bruce goes Hulk, he loses his mind. He becomes a rage monster. When she transforms, she's fully cognitive and lucid of what she's doing, which means when she's sitting there explaining to him that she can control her anger, she's lying. She's also a dangerous, violent psychopath. And immediately after this, she says, I control my anger every day. And then she hulks out. And then she calms back down. And so not only is she lying about controlling her anger in 2 instances here, she's lying. Like, it's the perfect example of feminism. Exaggerating the claim, lying about their ability to control it, and then justifying that as why they're a victim. Brilliant.
If they
It
say
sounds like
everything is
stealth
violence.
misogyny. Like, this entire program is just like secretly putting forward, like, actually, yeah. Like,
If you like, I'm watching this and I see this clip going around, and they're like, say it for everyone in back, and I'm like, yeah, but the context of this is that she's lying. Like, it's like 3 minutes before she says that, she tries to murder some dude. Yeah. And she's lucid. She's aware she's doing it. I'm like, that's feminism. Nailed it.
Yeah. And they if they define any type of word as violence, then you can match that with violence. So even them just approaching them saying, hey, what's up? That's violence.
Dude, I really love this show already. She-Hulk's the villain. She's the bad guy. So I'll tell you something else. It's really good. In Spider-Man, why do we like Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility. Man, what a message for a little kid. Especially for those of us who want people to grow up to be responsible regardless of who they are, what they do. Take some personal responsibility. The story of Spider-Man. You know, if we'll use the movie reference, he does the wrestling match. The dude refuses to pay him. Then the guy comes in and steals the money. And as the burglar's running away, the guy's like, stop that man. And Spider-Man's like, I don't see how that's my problem. But then that guy, as he's running away, tries to steal a car, and he robs Uncle Ben and shoots and kills him. And then Spider-Man is like, if I just stopped the guy and took responsibility for my community, my uncle would have lived. And it's like a very sad message. In this, Hulk desperately begs her to use her powers for good, and she outright refuses and says, no, it's my life, and I'm going to follow my career. And he says, there's very few people who have the power we do. The ability to protect this planet, you have to do it. And she goes, no, I don't. She beats the crap out of Hulk, destroys his bar. It actually is a funny scene. And then they rebuild it together, and she goes, I'm leaving. He goes, fine. If you want to just be a small-time lawyer, like, I respect that. She's like, okay. And then she leaves. The point of the show is that she is refusing responsibility for her powers. I'm just like, it's like what you were saying, Will. Mm-hmm. If the real message was to insult feminism, they nailed it.
Right. Yeah. Like, that's what that sounds like. It sounds like kind of a stealth, refutation of it. Basically a critique of feminism as deeply selfish. Right.
Yep.
The Hulk originally was like a chaotic evil creature that was inside of Bruce Banner, who was like a neutral good guy. So it was destructive and unpredictable. So I think they've infused the chaotic evil character into the woman's psyche, inadvertently making her chaotic evil.
You're saying Hulk was chaotic evil?
Yeah, Bruce Banner would turn into this chaotic evil demon. Yeah, basically the Hulk
was chaotic neutral, right?
No, Hulk was destructively evil and dangerous.
What are you talking about?
He lived off of he was a rage monster.
Yeah, but he was the protagonist. So
that was the cool thing about it, was he was an evil protagonist.
Evil. He wasn't evil.
Well, the Hulk itself was an evil creature that they had to keep. Everyone wanted to stop it whenever it would go. So he was always trying to stop it from appearing.
But it was like the Hulk was just amoral rage, right? Like, it was just, he would do good things, he would do bad things.
Well,
neutral.
Anger isn't really amoral. I think anger is definitely immoral.
The anger
you can be angry at injustice, or you can be angry at things.
You just be angry at, like, someone kicked my leg on accident. And he'd break walls, and they'd be like, run!
But think about that for a second. You're saying that a lawful good person can't be enraged, because that would make them evil.
That was the interesting thing about Hulk, is he was two people. Bruce Banner is like a good person, and then the Hulk was this evil thing that would come out of him, and he'd be like, no, I gotta stop it!
But Hulk wasn't evil. He was an Avenger.
The very original Hulk was like this evil demon with no personality. It was just a rage monster. And then they kind of started to craft him and give him a personality.
An anti-hero or something? Or like,
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Like, because I'm not really deeply familiar with, like, the universe, so I saw the Avengers.
Yeah.
Eventually, they made Bruce the Hulk one person. That's my favorite version of the Hulk, is when he has a mind.
When he's like Buddhist.
Yeah.
He's chilling.
I have some technical problems with this show. I haven't seen it yet, but when she, in the beginning of the scene, she starts to tell him this emotional thing and looks away to the right as she's talking. That's really annoying to watch actors do that. It's kind of, there you see her look to the right. It's like she's trying to generate fake emotion, which she glances to the right there. It's really annoying. Like, you need a director to be like, no, look him in the eyes when you're talking to him.
Well, she's not looking at anybody's eyes.
She's supposed to be looking at Bruce's eyes.
True. No, but like, she's actually looking at a big X on a stick.
Yeah, she might have Bruce in front of him working. They might be working a scene together.
She has to look up, which means they would have Bruce, and he would have a stick coming off his back with like a green circle on it, and she has to look at the two dots on the green circle.
So she dropped the ball there, and then at the end, whoever wrote this
guy's just ragging on the acting of the film
and the writing.
To be fair,
I feel anger. She says, "I feel anger infinitely more than you." Infinite is not a multiplier. You can't multiply something by infinite. That's a zero. Yes. So it makes no sense. An illogical statement. It's very
of
weird.
course, Ian has an issue with the semantics of the statement.
Yeah,
the lighting's good though.
the lighting's pretty good.
So Hulk's like her mentor throughout this? Is that the deal?
Well, he like kidnaps her.
Kidnaps her? Oh, now I'm in.
Yeah, because she almost murdered a dude.
Right.
And so Hulk thinks it's because she's...
That's going to be Dan Price's defense.
Yeah.
Imagine him hitting on her.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to choke her, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Hulk thought that she was a rage monster like he was.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Until he finds out.
Like, good writing would have been him being like, wait a minute, you're conscious right now? It's like, yes. And he would have been like, that means you tried to murder those guys.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that's crazy.
It's a different discussion.
Then she just goes back to being a lawyer. It's like, first of all, I said she was the villain, right? I mean, she's a lawyer. Come on, how much more villainous can you get? They didn't need to make her selfish too. I'm saying that because Will's here. And he's a lawyer.
What percentage of lawyers do you think are good?
Oh, I mean, most of them, honestly. Like, most
like 51%.
I don't know.
People.
I mean,
What's
but
that,
like most lawyers are, trying to do good work and serve their clients. Like now maybe they're in a position where their clients are people you might find distasteful. Like you don't get to pick your clients if you're like a big law firm, for example. I mean, I could have, for example, like I had the choice. Well, I had some choices, but my choices were between Bill Cosby when I was working at Big Law, and there was a guy who had a Dirty Money episode made after him for running a like payday lending scheme that the FTC sued him for $1 billion over. So like those are the clients you represent, because those are the clients. If you work at a big law firm, like,
and it's okay to not like those people, but like I hate when people attack the lawyers for defending those people.
And moreover, it's like that is your job, right? I don't know if you guys watch Better Call Saul. If you don't, you should. Excellent show. But one of the big themes in one of the later seasons is how one of the protagonist lawyers is representing a bank client and then is also kind of like screwing over that client to help the little guys who the bank is adverse to. And it's like there's like
that's a bad lawyer.
That's a bad lawyer, exactly. And that's sort of the point that the show is making. Is it's like it's giving you first, it kind of gives you the reason to sympathize with the lawyer and be oh yeah, she's working and trying to be Robin Hood here. But the longer it goes on, the more you realize like no, she's the bad person here, because she is betraying her client. And like she eventually, has to leave her firm and all that.
I know there's a bunch of jokes about lawyers. Like I literally made one. There's one I can't remember, but it's like a guy goes to hell and then he's like, or it's like a guy sells his soul to the devil and then he goes to hell and he's like, I need a lawyer, and then everyone raises their hand or whatever the joke is. I don't know. But I actually think most lawyers are good. I actually think the overwhelming majority. In my interactions, I've not actually experienced the stereotype of a bad lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are doing their jobs and trying to help their clients. They're expensive because there's a cartel. That's one reason. And then the worst are like
to get barred and all that stuff. Right?
Yeah, no, law school is expensive. It's not just getting barred, right? You have to go to law school.
And being good, it's costs money.
Is that the cartel? Is that you got to go to the expensive school?
You got to go to law school and then pass a bar exam, right? Like you have, and both are usually a requirement in most states. So that's what. People come out of law school $150,000 in debt, and they put in 3 years of work. So it's like the starting pay to just even hire a lawyer is really high.
Not Kim Kardashian though. In California, you don't need no bar.
Well, I mean, in California, you don't need to go to law school, and I'm pretty sure Kim Kardashian went to law school.
Okay.
Like
she did, yeah.
That's good.
So but like California has its own weird thing where you can like not go to law school but pass the bar exam, or you can go to a non-accredited law school.
It's kind of crazy how like you go to law school to try and become like proficient, but then you realize having a big butt makes you more money. You know what I mean? But, I mean, it's true. It's like reality.
It's a plus. Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like on Instagram, there's like I don't want to call anybody out because I'm not. But there's like these women who have they let's say they do specific talents, like they sing or they're skiers or snowboarders, and then it's like I'll see the video of them doing their skill, but then every other video is like, busty cleavage showing or like booty shaking and stuff like that. And those are the ones that get most of the views. And it's like, well, duh. You know what I mean? Yep. I wonder what's the point of even doing the other videos if like in the end you realize like where I'll tell you a better story. There was this woman on YouTube. This is like 6 years ago. I was at YouTube. I was talking with Google people about this. She played guitar and she sang. Her videos would get a few thousand views. If you go into her library, you'd see one day she went from like 2,000 to like 200,000 on her video views. And it was amazing. It's like, wow, she had her big break. She must have put out a really good song. And you know what the big difference was between the video before with low views and the video high with many views?
Cleavage.
Cleavage.
Yeah.
She started wearing like bathing suit tops with her boobs on her guitar as she played, and then the views went through the roof.
Yeah. I find it unfortunate that the sex appeal has become a gateway drug to the true passion of these people. But it works because they know it. They tap into it. The second you post some cleavage, then they get more views.
I wonder if it matters.
I'm going to try it tomorrow.
Like
do it.
Adele.
I'm going to try it right now.
Adele did not get big and famous through like trying to be this sexy
she's
supermodel.
a big girl.
Yeah.
I mean, she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Good for her.
But she just made really great music, and that worked. I'm like, I genuinely don't know. Do these women feel like lesser because it's not the skill or talent that got them there? It's the sex appeal, or does it matter?
It might be the competition on social media, because it's like when people are mad at certain pop stars like Miley Cyrus or Billie Eilish, when they start out as one thing and then they mutate into the sexy thing. I think it's the industry might be pressuring them. It could be social media, but people hate it or they love it because their kids who might have been with Hannah Montana are now with
I mean,
twerking.
you got to wonder, like, you look at the Kardashians and, like, do they care? I mean, like, I don't know which one's the billionaire one, like Kylie or whatever.
Kylie Jenner. Yeah, Kylie Jenner's. I think there's multiple billionaires in the.
Yeah.
I think Kim is.
They might all be.
I think she's like the youngest billionaire.
Yeah, Kylie Jenner is like the youngest billionaire.
Yeah. Like, do you think she cares that people are going to be like, you got famous off your ass? They're going to be like, she's going to be like.
I mean,
I could buy you.
Her sister got
times.
famous with a sex tape,
Yeah.
right? Like relative to her family, like she's like, I was pretty conservative.
But you know the other thing too is like, I was reading about. I think it's Kylie. I don't know a lot about the Jenners, but it's not just sex appeal that got her to be a billionaire. Like it's legit business.
I think they're also really smart.
They're super
for sure.
Very smart.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. Like Kim went to law school or whatever.
She got mentored. I think is what it is in California. You can be mentored but not go to law school, but still have to pass the bar.
Right. Like I don't think, but I don't know. You'd have to look it up if California actually has any requirement about going to law school, right? To be barred. Almost every other state does.
That makes sense for California.
I mean, I think probably it's risky, right? Like the bar exam's not that hard, frankly. And then 2, like there's a lot that you actually learn in the first year or 2 of law school. The third year is BS, and that's where
we've all seen Legally Blonde.
Yeah, we get
know.
it.
What's in the third year?
The third year is like a bunch of electives that you don't need to take, basically, and it's a way for the law school to make a little extra money off you. Like really, the first 2 years are what you need.
Sounds like the lawyer should overtake that and just chop it down to 2 years.
Well, the lawyers don't care once they've graduated because then it's
anymore.
keeping prices. Their prices are already high, and they're making money. It's just like once you're in the cartel, you don't have a reason to lower the bar and make it easier for other people to become lawyers.
My experience with like getting cast for the way you look is really an empty. Like I felt lousy whenever I was in Hollywood doing it. If I got like a modeling job and they take pictures, I'd be like, I just feel empty afterwards. And like, especially when they start saying it and they're like, we just want to promote your sex appeal, Ian. You're so sexual. Want your sex? I'm like, God, this industry is missing the mark, man. You want good acting. Good acting first.
Wait, is this like a prolonged? That's not a joke? Like you got modeling jobs? In Los Angeles?
I did.
He's in more than one Super Bowl commercial.
I was in one Super Bowl commercial. It was Orbit gum commercial.
Okay.
I did commercials. Did one TV show, Aliens in America. I did the pilot of that show. That was pretty fun. We launched that, and then I did a little bit of photography, modeling stuff. But nothing.
Is there not a painting downstairs of you ripped?
Yeah, we should bring it up here.
We should put it on the wall. It's like there's an eagle holding the
I'm going to replace this with it.
Come on.
The glare might be too much as the issue.
It's like
it's the stomach. The abs are too much.
And I think an example of the emptiness is you see in the cosmetic surgery that I'm looking at it right now. Is this Kylie Jenner has a cosmetic company, so it's like cosmetic. The way you look.
Of course.
The way you look.
That's the way she monetizes her Instagram is makeup. Right?
That in my experience leads to emptiness on the inside, but it's a lot of money, so you kind of just pretend like it's okay. And
well, my problem with as much as like in the culture war they would call me right wing, I'm like particularly left, especially when it comes to these ultra wealthy people who use their money and just keep amassing and hoarding and amassing and hoarding, and they're not doing anything. That bums me out. I'm also fairly libertarian, so I'm like, I'm not going to rag on them and force them to do anything with their money. I just kind of accept the fact that people make money and then they do whatever they want with it. And it's like, okay, well, I wish they would do more.
Yeah.
The problem is, maybe we're better off they don't. Because Mackenzie Bezos decided to do more with Jeff's money, and then she funded a whole bunch of woke garbage. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, maybe we'd be better off if she bought a yacht with an infinity pool instead of funding woke racist BS.
Yeah. Right.
Just as useless.
Like employ some people, right? Like have...
Yeah. Well, one Kardashian, Kim has a company where it's like underwear and stuff like that, and I've heard from a lot of different people that they love it. Like it's actually really good, and she's got a lot of people she employs. So they're doing something, and it's not. I don't want to knock on just the sex appeal because they are some of the ones that are always knocked on for how they look, but they're doing something.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.